Welcome to this short walkthrough of the Surpass test platform, which the GPhC uses to deliver the Common Registration Assessment. This video will guide trainee pharmacists through the key features of the platform you'll use during your assessment. The aim is to help you feel confident navigating the system so that on the day you can focus fully on the questions themselves. To access the example questions, click on the following buttons on the Sitting the Common Registration Assessment webpage, and click on the Part 1 or Part 2 link to access the example questions on the Common Registration Assessment webpage on the GPhC website. An Enter Key Code box will display. The 8-character alphanumeric key code is already populated in the entry field. Select OK. 3. A Confirm Details box will display. The generic demo details are already populated for the example questions. Select Yes. 4. An Agree to Terms box will display. Please scroll to read the terms and click the box to accept these terms. Select Continue. The Introduction page. The Introduction page provides instructions on how to answer the questions. You can also access the assessment abbreviations and acronyms list on this page. The question mark icon. Once you have started the questions, clicking on the question mark icon on the bottom toolbar returns you to the introduction page. You can do this from any question at any time during the assessment. The Preferences icon. You can use this icon to alter the background colour and text colour and also the contrast of the Surpass visuals. Overview of the question screen. Let's begin with the main question screen. This is where you'll spend most of your time during the assessment. You'll see your question number, the question itself, and the answer section, which may change in appearance depending on the question type. For example, in Part 1, numerical free entry calculations. In Part 2, multiple choice questions, single best answer, and extended matching questions. Across both Part 1 and Part 2, the layout remains clear and consistent, so you can move through your assessment smoothly. Navigating between questions. You're free to move forwards and backwards through the assessment using the navigation controls. You can select specific question numbers from the navigation pane and revisit questions as often as you need before finishing the assessment, or at the end of the allocated time. This flexibility is especially useful when you want to check work or return to questions later. Flagging questions for review. You can find the flag button in the bottom toolbar, alongside the Back and Next buttons. If you come across a question you'd like to return to later, you can flag it. This adds a visual marker next to the question number, so you won't lose track of it. Many trainees find this useful for questions they want to double-check before finishing the assessment. Using the basic on-screen calculator. Calculators are allowed in Part 1 and Part 2 of the assessment. You can either use your own, as long as it's one of the permitted models, or use the built-in on-screen calculator. The on-screen version is simple, clear, and works just like a basic handheld calculator. Highlighting text. You can highlight text directly within questions. This can be really helpful if you want to pick out key information, such as doses or numbers, in the question. Zoom controls. When viewing a question, you can zoom in and out of the interface at any time using keyboard shortcuts. Hold down the Control button and plus sign on your keyboard to zoom in. Hold the Control button and minus sign on your keyboard to zoom out. Holding down Control and 0 will reset to the default view. This is particularly helpful if you prefer larger text or want to focus on specific details. Please note that zooming on the PDF/resource viewer works differently. Using the PDF/resource viewer, some questions include additional resources such as treatment algorithms, BNF extracts, and patient record information. These appear in the built-in PDF viewer. Within the viewer, you can scroll through the document, zoom in and out, and even search for specific words or phrases and highlight them. Note, you cannot use Ctrl+F to search. You can only search using the search icon, which is the magnifying glass. Also, in the resource viewer, Zooming works by using the plus or minus buttons at the top or selecting the % zoom from drop-down. This viewer is fully integrated, so you can work with the resource and the question at the same time without switching screens. Assessment timer and progress indicators. You'll see a timer that shows how much time you have remaining. There are also indicators to show how many questions you've answered, how many remain, and which ones you've flagged. These tools help you pace yourself and stay organised throughout the assessment. Submitting the assessment. Once you've answered all questions, or when you feel ready, you can go to the submission screen. You'll be shown any unanswered or flagged questions, giving you a final opportunity to review or complete anything before submitting. When you're sure, simply follow the on-screen prompts to submit your assessment. Note if the timer reaches 0, your answers at that point will be automatically submitted for marking. That's the essential functionality of the Surpass platform. You should use the example questions to become familiar with these features ahead of your assessment. Good luck with your preparation, and remember, practice and familiarity with the tools can make a real difference on the day.